Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you're in Australia, you may know that Makeup Revolution recently launched in Priceline, which is really exciting. A lot of their products are vegan, they're cruelty free, and they're a really affordable price point as well. So I thought, why not do a foundation review / wear test? And then I also picked up their concealer because I want to see if this is a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape. So let's just get straight into it. Okay, so I brought you guys in a little bit closer just so you can kind of see what I'm doing a bit more. So this is the foundation that I picked up. The bottle is made of glass. It's really nice, and it does say cruelty free and vegan on the packaging as well. I know sometimes for people that are looking for like cruelty free vegan options, it can be a little bit tricky because there's a lot of information floating around on the internet, and it really just helps to clarify for, I think, a lot of people if it's written on the packaging. So yeah, the glass feels like a frosted glass at the bottom, and this is a giant doe foot applicator. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna prime half of my face so we can see how it wears with primer and without primer. And also I'm going to be applying it with just a beauty sponge because that's what I normally use anyway. So for primer today, I'm going to be using the Becca First Light Priming Filter. This one here I know works really well for me. And this side here will be the side that we prime, and this side here will be the side that we don't prime. I love like how hydrating this primer is. It gives you like a little bit of a brightening effect as well because it has that sort of purple pigment in there, but once you like rub it into the skin, you can see that it hasn't left any purple hue or anything. So this is what my skin looks up close. So you can see I have like a little breakout down here, but overall I don't really have a lot of skin concerns. I just want to mainly cover this redness around my nose and then kind of even my skin tone a little bit more across here. Because I used to have like freckles and stuff when I was younger, I find that now that they've faded just because of the skincare products I use, it can kind of look a little bit, the tone just doesn't seem as even sometimes. Okay, so I'm gonna do the unprimed side first so we don't get any primer on that side. I don't even know how much to use of this, but the formula feels very liquidy. And I'm going to be using the XO Beauty Sponge. And I always use a sponge to apply my foundation. Very rarely I will use a brush, so I want to test it with a sponge. You can see that it's really good coverage. This color is F1, by the way. So they did have one lighter than this, but this is like a perfect match to my skin tone. So far, this is looking pretty flawless. You can see it still looks very natural though. It doesn't look like cakey on the skin. I bought this foundation yesterday and it was $18. So definitely more affordable than a lot of the other foundations that I use a lot of the time. I'm happy with the coverage level that I have on this side. So now we're going to go in and do the other side. And you can kind of like, I don't know if you guys can see how liquidy that foundation is. Oh, this might be a new favorite. When I went to go buy this yesterday, there were so many people huddled around like the Makeup Revolution shelf. So I think this brand will do quite well at Priceline. It seemed to be having a lot of hype around it. And a lot of I didn't get a primer from this brand because I don't want a pore blurring or mattifying primer, and they were sold out of the hydrating one. They were also sold out of their setting powders. So I'm gonna add a little bit more coverage on this side, just kind of through here. I would say the main difference between using a primer and no primer right now is that the primed side looks a little bit more hydrated, and it doesn't look like it has as much coverage, which is really odd because it has I put this same amount of foundation on that side. So let's go in again. feels really nice on the skin though. It doesn't feel heavy, feels like quite hydrating. But we'll see as the day goes by as to how it actually wears and how it feels at the end of the day. So I have a full shift day. I work 12 till 8. I will try and do an update on my phone at work, but I don't know how I will go with that. But I'll definitely show you what it looks like at the end of my work day. Because I work in a place that has like a lot of bright lights and air conditioning, I find for most foundations, if they're going to break up on me, they'll break up around here. So I'll start to get like little dots of oil coming through. And then, yeah, I usually kind of get my foundation slash concealer to, like, it usually wears off around my nose first as well. Okay, so this is what the foundation looks like. This is up close. Now we're going to go in with the concealer. So the components, as you can see, look like pretty similar. It's like the same width and everything as the Shape Tape. So I'm curious to see what the doe foot looks like. So I've swatched the Makeup Revolution concealer on my hand, and now I'm going to swatch the Shape Tape beside it. These colors are pretty similar. The Shape Tape's probably a little bit warmer, whereas the Makeup Revolution one's a little bit more neutral. So you can see I've blended it into the skin a little bit there. It looks very, very, very similar. I would say the Tarte one definitely feels thicker, but the coverage looks like almost the same. So you can see, like, I don't have like super dark circles or anything, but I always do like to use a bit of concealer under my eye to brighten them. This shade is C1, so concealer 1. So it's a similar, almost identical shade to the foundation. You can see it blends quite well, like it just blends perfectly in with that foundation and looks very natural as well. So I cannot see the foundation sitting on top of my skin at the moment, but we'll see as the day goes by, of course. Okay, so we have all the foundation and concealer on. It looks very smooth, very flawless. I'm going to set in place with the IT Cosmetics Bite by Pores pressed powder. This is just a translucent powder. And then I will do the rest of my makeup and I'll come back and we can talk about how everything laid on top. Okay guys, so I'm back. I've got my all of my powder products, everything on top. My eyes and brows and lips are all done. For my lips today, I just filled them in with a lip liner. They don't make this anymore, but this is from a brand called the Estee Edit, and the shade was number 2 in the Flesh. It's just like a really nice nude sort of color, and really nice if you want to overdraw your lips a little bit. And then I popped the Makeup Revolution lip topper over the top. This packaging is like the same as the Fenty Gloss Bomb. So really interesting that the components for this brand are really similar to other brands that are available at Sephora. As far as how everything blended over the top of the foundation, I didn't have any issues, nothing lifted, nothing was hard to blend or anything like that. I actually found when I was using the Tantour that this blended easier over this foundation than some other foundations that I've used with it. So that was a nice surprise. The last product I purchased from Makeup Revolution is the Hyaluronic Fix. This is like a makeup setting spray and it's more hydrating. So we are going to finish off our look using some of this. Prime this first. Okay. So the mister is a little aggressive, I will say that. So I'm gonna go finish getting ready for work now, and then I will try and do a check-in with you when I go on lunch and kind of show you how everything's sitting. And then when I come home tonight, I'll show you how the makeup is wearing as well. So, okay, so it is almost 4 o'clock. I have had this makeup on since I think around 10:30, 11 o'clock. You can see the foundation's still looking pretty good. It's only sort of cracked a little bit like where my face makes expressions, but otherwise it's looking pretty flawless so far. So I will finish the rest of my day at work. I'll show you how it looks when I get home. Hey guys, so I have finished work. So I'm just sitting in the car. I'm about to go home, but I thought I would do a little check-in and show you how my makeup is looking. So this is how we are looking so far. You can see it looks like a little bit oily here. Not too bad though, like there's like nothing major coming through. And it has like cracked around my nose a little bit too, which a lot of like more matte foundations definitely will do that. But overall it's lasted really well and still looks really like full coverage and really nice. Hey guys, so I'm back for a final update on the foundation. So we tried the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define foundation. It claims to be at full coverage, and interesting, it says for adult use only. Not sure why that is, but yeah, it doesn't really have any other claims other than its full coverage. So my thoughts on this foundation. So we remember that we had one side that was primed and one side that was not primed. And my skin type is more sort of normal to dehydrated, and I do get like sometimes a little bit oily here and here when I'm at work, just because of the really bright lights where I work and the air conditioning. But as far as like wear goes, I would say okay, so I've zoomed you guys in a little bit closer so you can see. So as far as wear time goes and everything between the primed and unprimed side, the main difference I can tell with the side that's primed, it has a lot less cracking. So the like little fine lines on my head here aren't as visible on this side as they are on this side. And same here, when I'm like smiling and things like that, this side, you can see it's kind of cracked a little bit more there versus this side. But overall, the foundation wore really well. Another area on my nose has kind of come off a little bit, but it has lasted pretty well considering that most foundations do kind of get these little oil splotches come through on here, whereas this one hasn't really done that. It's like a little bit of tiny little bit of breakup here, but that's about it. So I have had this foundation on since around 10:30, 11ish this morning, and it is currently 8:52. So it's been on for a good amount of time, and a full work day definitely would last. Like if you wanted to wear it as a going out foundation, it definitely would be a really nice one because it gives you that really nice full coverage. And it was really easy to apply. It looked really blended really nicely. I don't know whether this hyaluronic fix made much of a difference in how the makeup wore. I would say, because this is quite a matte foundation, if your skin is more dehydrated, you probably would want a setting spray like this, or something that's going to give you a little extra hydration. But aside from that, I think it's actually amazing, especially for $18. Like, come on, like I have other foundations that are like 3 times the price as this, and this one here is better than them. So this definitely is a win from me, and I'm gonna continue using this. I love it. I think it's, especially for work, you don't have to worry about it breaking up. For the concealer, I would say that it's pretty good as well. It's very similar to the Shape Tape concealer. I don't think it's as drying as the Shape Tape concealer, but you can see like under my eyes here, it kind of makes it look like a little bit drier than it is, especially like in here. But overall, amazing. So that is the end of the video for today. I'm gonna go wash my face and have some dinner because I'm starving. And I will leave all of the products that I use listed down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.